The Makita 40-volt impact isn't here yet, but it's elsewhere.
And Bosch has a new mini bandsaw you're all gonna want.
This is your Power Tool Week in Review.
This episode is brought to you by Ohio Power Tool. Pro tools, pro service, all at the best prices at ohiopowertool.com. And Ego, power beyond belief.
Welcome back, Power Tool fans. I'm Rob.
And I'm Sarah. It is Friday, September 18th, 2020. And today we have some Power Tool news and the tool videos you won't want to miss. Let's get to it.
Makita still has yet to bring their new 40-volt power tools to the States, but they're finally showing up overseas. Fortunately for us, Tools and Stuff got their hands on several of them and decided to see how they hold up against Big Red. That's the new Makita XGT 40-volt Max brushless impact driver, challenging the formidable Makita XDT16 and Milwaukee's own M18 Fuel Hex impact driver. Now, on paper, that new Makita XGT 40-volt looks tough to beat, claiming the highest RPMs, but we all know that speed isn't everything. The three tools are put through a wide range of tests, and the results, well, they're definitely worth seeing. Head on over to Tools and Stuff on YouTube to see for yourself.
Speaking of Makita, they can't seem to stop making mowers, and none of us are complaining. They recently announced the new XML09 PT1, which I think we can all agree is a super sexy name, which is an 18-volt X2 LXT 21-inch self-propelled commercial lawnmower. Now, this is not your neighbor's mower, unless he's a landscaper, I guess. This new mower features a commercial-grade aluminum deck and can cut non-stop up to 2 miles using a total of 4 18-volt LXT 5-amp-hour batteries. While the battery bay holds those 4 batteries, it only uses 2 at a time in the X2 36-volt configuration. If you're a landscaper or like to play one on the weekend, this might be worth checking out. You can find it at makitatools.com.
Now, if you haven't yelled about power tools recently, you don't have to, because Tim has us all covered. Fortunately for us this week, he's yelling about a serious cordless grinder from DeWalt. Tim gives us a thorough overview of the DCG 418, the 3-horsepower flex-volt grinder from DeWalt, and puts it to the test by cutting through 8-inch C-channel steel. Now, Tim tends to make everything look easy, but he had this to say when he was done.
This is impressive, it really is. If you haven't used a flex volt grinder, try it out and see. Again, I'm not saying it's going to replace, it's definitely not going to replace your 7-inch. It's probably not going to replace your 15-amp, grinder if you're using it in the shop all day. But it will be a great supplemental tool for you that I don't think you will notice a lack in power.
For the full review, visit Shop Tool Reviews on YouTube.
Are you tired of wielding gigantic bandsaws all over the place?
Yes.
Well, Brian at Workshop Addict thinks Bosch has a solution. This is the Bosch GCB 18V2, and why am I getting all of the ridiculously long product names this week?
Because I decide who does each segment?
Yeah, that ends today. Anyways, this is the Bosch GC blah 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 and 18-volt 2.5-inch compact portable bandsaw. Brian liked just about everything this bandsaw has to offer and noted that most tools designed to be lightweight tend to be poorly built, but not this one.
While this is a lighter weight saw at 7.3 pounds, you do have metal that is connecting everything, and there is no flex at all in this saw, and I think that's a huge deal.
For the full review, head over to Workshop Addict on YouTube.
It's time again for some actual work with Rob Robillard. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rob, Sarah, how are you guys this week?
We're doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I wanted to talk to you guys today about splicing and trim. Sometimes it makes sense to replace an entire corner board all the way up to the 3rd floor if you've got rot, and other times it makes sense to just put a splice in. Now, if you look, when this corner board was built, they put a joint right here, but they just put a butt joint, and because of that, you start to get some rot here as well. What you can't see on camera is the bottom of the corner board is completely gone. It's rotted. So what I do is I make a jig out of whatever we have on stock. This happens to be stuff I grabbed out of my shop. And I make what I call a 45-degree splice. I double up some material, 45-degree bevel on it, as wide as the material that I'm going to be cutting or wider. I keep this in my trailer, and I can cut wider stock or thinner stock. Typically what I'll do is I'll set it up where I want the splice, which will be above this. Set it up there. I'll make sure it's level. I'll shoot maybe 1 or 2 finish nails in it, and I use it as a guide to put a multi-tool blade across. And it keeps my multi-tool blade at a 45-degree angle, following that angle, so that I can make that upcut. I always want to make sure that the bottom has this angle and the top has this angle. We want an overlapping coverage because you don't want water to go into your joint. You want it to overlap. You have to think like a raindrop. Anyway, this jig helps keep you honest, helps keep your blade straight, really nice cut, and then you can finish it off with new trim and a replacement. I hope this helps. Have a great weekend.
Thanks so much, Rob. It's time again for our construction industry news, courtesy of the Construction Junkie. So this week, Shane reported on 2 construction accidents, which are downers. But as he puts it, when dozens of people are injured from a job site incident, it's important for all of us to learn from it in order to avoid similar circumstances in the future. First up, 6 Atlanta construction workers were injured after a parking deck collapsed twice in 2 days. The project is located at Emory University in Midtown. You can see in this video the results of the first collapse. Fortunately, no one died in either incident. Then a few days later, he reported on another crane accident in Austin, Texas, where 22 construction workers were injured. If you work on a job site, you're part of a complex system that relies on each other to keep each other safe. It's important that you don't forget that. In lighter news, JCB decided it was a good idea to restore this 1963 JCB-1 backhoe loader, and they were right. In a video posted just this last month, they shared a story of a construction company that's been buying their equipment for over 60 years and had this vintage backhoe loader just sitting in storage, waiting for someone to pick it up, restore it, put it on stage, add a couple smoke machines, and make a pair of grown men cry. Mission accomplished, JCB. The video is actually a ton of fun to watch, and you can find it along with the rest of your construction industry news at constructionjunkie.com.
Swinging over to Instagram, Kiefer, also known as the Toolaholic, somehow found a way to make emptying a toilet interesting.
No, he didn't.
Small 20-volt cordless vac.
He did not.
Yes, he did.
It
Did you
was not
see
interesting.
it?
It's
It was
gross.
awesome. Don't listen to him.
Gross.
Montreal Sparky got to show off Milwaukee's new M18 8-inch metal saw. Did he like it? Well, he said the logic board, the battery, and the brushless guts all working in beautiful harmony. I think that's a yes. And finally, Travis from Tools by Design continued his love letter to Ego's 56-volt 650 CFM blower, stating it blows the competition out of the water. I am sure the pun was indeed intentional.
I really hope so. Last week, we revealed Milwaukee's newest pack-out products and a planer from Makita that you can watch right here. Congratulations to Shiny Obsessed for winning our Ego giveaway this week. Special thanks to Ego and Ohio Power Tool for sponsoring this episode.
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.
We'll see you next week.